Hi guys, and welcome back. I'm not at my usual studio, so this is a little bit different setup. It's at my other storefront place where I sell things. But anyway, I have begun a picture of a little girl that the customer wanted a picture of Jesus in the back of the little girl. So I'm beginning to paint the background part. And the mixture for the flesh color I used here was like um, 10 drops of orange to 10 drops of burnt sienna to 25 drops of white and 1 drop of moss green and 1 drop of um, cobalt blue. And this gives me kind of a nice soft um, background color that I can begin to start laying on here. I will be up at my other shop where I'll take this and you'll get a more closer view, but I I guess I thought this was closer than what it was, but I had a different kind of a setup here. But anyway, um, as I'm airbrushing here, I'm laying in some darker, like a burnt umber up around the shroud there. And I will begin to start laying in a little bit of background color on the girl. She's a very cute little girl. And as I'm doing this, you're going to see that my photo that I'm trying to record from is going to start drooping down. So the picture will be a little skewed when that happens. So not to fret. I will be back at my other place and we'll get this up for you so you can see a little bit better what I'm doing. Um, and at this place I have my Takumi, so I was using my Takumi, and I'm really not fond of the side feed airbrush for some reason. I just do better with my Creo 771. It's the same, it's an 8.18 millimeter needle, so it's a custom. It's like a micron too. I just prefer it, and there's no reason why. I just prefer it over this one. I guess it's whatever you get used to if you like the side feeds. For me, it just seems to get in my way. Here I'm trying to use some stenciling because I did not mask this one off. I wanted to use more of a freehand um, because I didn't want um, such sharp contrast to my image there, because our flesh is kind of gives off a fuzzy look, I think. So I'm trying not to be too particular here. And this is my eraser. I'm just coming in and scratching out some highlights, and then some of those will be sprayed back over. But you always want to scratch out your highlights, because if you're going to be adding more color on top of this, so you want to keep those highlights sharp. And you'll see me use an X-Acto knife in the beard and just erasing. Excuse me. And I'm realizing it's really not close enough to even pick up what I'm doing here. So I hope you can kind of get the gist of it. In here, it looks like I'm working on her chin, but actually she has her little hands up at her chin, and this is going to be her two little hands that are up there by her chin. And I was debating this dress that she has on is white, and then usually Jesus is with a white kind of like shroud shirt, and I was thinking, well, that would be too much white, so I eventually added in blue on him, and then I'm thinking that's not going to work for me. It's got to be white. So I will come back over top of that and just make different colors of white to make it work. And even when I put pink in her dress, I even changed my mind on that. So I will eventually be going back in with white on top of her dress, making it kind of a light, very, very light hint of pink. And she has a lot of pink in her skin. So as we progress with this, you'll see me make some changes. This is a picture of her, but the picture of Jesus is just something that I got off the internet. And of course, you guys know I change my stuff up. I don't like to paint exactly the way things look because I don't like to, I don't want to say copy, but I prefer to make it different. So the little girl is only going to be the thing that I'm trying to achieve here that looks like her. And she has real bright, shiny hair, kind of blondish, but of course to get those highlights like that, you have to lay in some darker colors to be able to scratch out. So you're going to see the darker color in her hair right now, but later on this is all going to be taken out and erased out or used with an X-Acto knife to come the hairs out, and I will really try to get a closer view because I realize right now you're just watching me do this and you're not really seeing at all what I'm doing. And there was a time before I used to think all this is racing, it's just not worth it, leave it out. But I've really watched other airbrush artists that do not do the detail work, and you can really, really tell the difference in the artwork. And um, I like for my work to, well, now I should say I like for my work to take a more realistic view. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I think if we add a little bit of extra inner work, that it will pay off. And, I know artists, we can work and work and work forever on something. I know I can. And there's a point you just have to say, I'm done. The best I can do. We're never going to make anything 100% the way it is. Here you see me using just little stencils to go around her little arm there. She's a little cutie pie. And my camera is beginning to slip. So you can see that it's starting to slip down, and I'm unaware that this is happening. So I do apologize. When you just don't have your tools with you, you gotta make do with what you have. Videoing this off my iPhone. A lot of freehand airbrush artists, they use handheld shields and things, but they don't like tape absolutely everything off. I do and I don't. It just depends. I guess the mood I'm in or the price somebody wants to pay. You know what I never figured out about the Takumi airbrush is that they have a little pot, which is great if you're just going to use a couple drops of paint. And I basically use it because the pot that screws down onto it is so big to me. They need to make a medium-sized one. Um, I think a lot of airbrush artists would really like that and appreciate it. I think Neo has one of those little half pots. I'm not sure. I'll have to check that out. I've got like a slew of airbrushes I use from time to time. I have my favorites I just stick to. Sometimes I wonder why I have the others, but I hold on to them just in case. You never know. Someone might want to learn, and I'm always one to like get somebody started. I give them a airbrush, especially if it's not one that I use. Here I'm starting laying some pink in her dress, and I'm just kind of lightly going around and laying that pink in, and then I'm erasing out some highlights. There you see I caught that my camera had slid down, so I slid it back up there. And you might think that this is really coming along, but actually this is all background color. There'll be more color laid on top of this. Even Jesus, he's not, this is just one shade. And it just goes to show you with the illustration colors how you can build up your lights and darks. There is a little bit of burnt umber in there, I think, around the edges of where the shroud is on his head. But mostly it's all that one flesh color. I'm going to try to upload again this evening or in the morning with the same video or the same photo um, in my other shop so you can get a better look of how I'm doing it. Again, I apologize. I usually have my stuff with me, but I didn't, and I knew I needed to get something uploaded to you guys. It had been a while. I'm not one to put a lot of tips and tricks on or stuff like other people do. I think there's a lot of airbrush artists out there that can show you all that stuff. But I will tell you my favorite airbrushes and things like that, and things that I haven't seen on other airbrush sites, like the lipstick applicator. That is a really good one for cleaning out the inside of your airbrush. And it's never use a cotton swab. I even just prefer Kleenex over cotton swab or paper towel, but never a cotton swab. There I'm spraying some blue, and I didn't want it to get on her ear, so I covered her ear with a shield there, and those little shields come in handy. And as I'm spraying this blue, I'm trying to figure out where his arm is going to come across there, because I hadn't uh, laid a line for that when I was kind of imagining this, and I'm realizing his arm needs to come across there. So I have to fill in some uh, blue down in the area. And I guess as I'm looking at this, um, this is why I changed my mind of the color, is that it just is not working for me. I don't know. I'm not liking the blue and the pink together. It looks too, I don't know, pastel-y looking. So I will be changing this up. And it just goes to show that, even though you get something started and you may have the wrong color in mind, and or you use the wrong color, you can always fix it. You can always come back and change it up to where you can work with it. And then you can say, I meant to do that. And a lot of times this is why I like to um, do my airbrush work with you watching. See, notice my camera's slipping down again. This is why I like to do it with you guys watching, because any mistake I do make,